video, I'm going to show you how to pick an AI model based on your system specs. So I have as I said before, I do have a, just a second here, so obviously this is multi-streaming on YouTube, BitChute, Odyssey, and Rumble. So as I was saying, I about a week or so ago, I created a very dedicated article. There was a lot of information there. I think it's on page 3 if I'm correct. Let's see where it is. So that there was a lot of information. I think it was this one. Yeah, I think it was this one here. Oh, looks like that wasn't it. No, that wasn't it. So it must have been 2 pages ago. Give me a second. It must be on page 2. There was one I created which had, yeah, this one here. This 14B model. Yeah, so this particular article. So I gave a lot of information. It was a little bit overwhelming. The reason I did that was I wanted this article to be a one-stop place where you can go and find out information that will help you for all types of LLMs. That's large language models. But it's not just for chat AIs. It's for any type of AI. So you understand how to pick, because I didn't understand how to pick it, and there was really no documentation out there. So yesterday when I did the night stream, I did go over some of the things which you can pick. So I'm going to show you how you can determine. Obviously, you need to know something about your system first before you go pick the models. Now, in the past, the vast majority of AI models were not meant for consumer grade. For example, were meant for your local PC. Even though they said it was local, it was not. There's a few reasons for that. Number one was when you buy a consumer grade, for example, GPU, it's not meant for AI. And the manufacturers, let's be honest, there's only AMD and NVIDIA. They really constrain the amount of VRAM. No matter how much, even if you have the funds, they really constrain it. So that, and then of course with the RAM, even with RAM, they still kind of constrain you. It's kind of sad that even here in 2025, you are still limited by the amount of RAM. They make excuses like, oh, because you have ATX motherboard, etc., etc. So that's kind of sad. It's kind of funny because back in the 80s, you were not constrained. You could get more cards, RAM cards, and have basically unlimited as long as the system supported it. Well, the funny thing is it was still constrained today, which is sad. But that's beside the point. So the purpose of this tutorial or this screencast or live stream, whatever you call it, is to show you how you'll be able to generate, whether it's a local AI for chatting or for image generation or video generation, using just lower spec or common, let's say budget friendly system. That could be either laptop or your desktop. Now I have a desktop, so I'll show you how to do it. What inspired me was when I was looking because most of the, even right now, most of the commentary or the research you find, they will say, oh, don't get AMD GPUs for if you want to do anything AI, because it's all Intel for the CPU, and the GPU is NVIDIA. Now that's true for probably the most popular the most popular clients. That's most likely true. They basically don't even bother with AMD stuff. It's all I said, the Intel CPU and NVIDIA GPUs. However, I'm running on Linux, and I've been able to run the models. Of course, I had to do a few tweaks, and some of you viewers have helped me as well. And I've obviously done a lot of research myself. And one of the things I disliked, for example, I don't have a problem with, for example, some of the UIs, they were pulling in a lot of stuff, and I was like, is that really necessary? Because I have a very specific need, and I was thinking, I really don't need all of that stuff, because to me it was just what do you call it? It was taking up too much space. Yes, as in disk space, and also was taking up too much RAM, and it was most of those things were probably I don't want to say they're dated or outdated, but they're probably useful, but they were not optimized. Is what I'm trying to say. So that's part of the problem. So what you need to know is you need to have a good grasp of what your system, what you have in your system. What I mean by that is not so much like, oh, my GPU is this and this how much RAM I have, because I'll explain what I mean. So with that said, let's actually get started. Let me. So you can review this one. I put the links in all the descriptions. Some descriptions I have to go over because they're not ready yet. Just give me a second. I can edit. So I'm going to go here. Yes, here we go. I need to change this up. Just give me a second. I need to change the one for Odyssey. The links are missing there, so I'm just adding those links so people can. Oh, it's also missing the link there too. Jeez. Just give me a second. Sorry, I need to. Oh yeah, this one here. I might make sure. Okay, I don't know why the links were not added. Just give me a second. The links for. Is there one? Okay, the links to this. Well, technically, this doesn't really have a link. So okay, I guess that's fine. It doesn't have a link, so I have to edit all this. Give me a second, please. I'm gonna put some links here so people can at least. Oh yeah, there we go. So what's the URL for? Okay, here it is. Here, I'll just grab it here. Yeah, all the links are missing. So I'm adding them right now. I don't know what happened. They just I guess it didn't copy properly or something. Paste. Yeah. So hit save. So that's done. I'm gonna go back to BitShoot as well, edit that one, add it back in there, and hit save. And I think if I hit the back button, it should be okay. Yes, it is. Okay, so I don't want that. I do not know how to edit Rumble. Am I even allowed to? I don't know how to edit Rumble, so I'll have to figure that out later. Rumble is the only. Oh, YouTube. Oh, I forgot about YouTube. I have to edit YouTube as well. Just give me a second. Edit. And hit save. Okay, so the only one I'm having problems is with Rumble. I have to figure that out later. I don't. Let me see here. Let's go back to my content. Oh, edit. There we go. Is this the one? Yeah, this is the one. Edit. Okay, and hit save. Okay, so these changes will take up to 30 seconds. Okay, that's no problem. Okay, close that. And if I refresh, hopefully they're there now. Yeah, it's there. Okay, so I managed to fix it. Okay, so Okay, so it's all done. So back to the tutorial. I also want to make sure you have this link is very important, because I said there's a lot of information on this. I spent a lot of time on this. You can see the date was that it's last month. There's a lot of very important information. So the first part of information that you're going to need is you need to figure out obviously what operating system you have. Make sure you have the latest drivers. For example, I'm using Linux. I'm using only the open source drivers because I have an AMD CPU and an AMD GPU. So I'm doing everything is all open source, and because I'm using Fedora Linux, it usually has very up-to-date drivers and everything. It's not quite bleeding edge, but it's right up there. So obviously, as I said before, my operating system is Fedora, and I just updated 2 days ago, so I'm using Fedora 43, and my GPU, the dedicated one, is AMD Instinct MI60 32 gigs. It's HBM2. Now this is very important, because what I found was when I do a live stream, what I used to do before is I would use the integrated graphics for the streaming, and I will use the dedicated graphics to record the video. The problem is that little bit was being used to record the video was screwing up or slowing it down. For example, when I was if I left this GPU alone, I was able to generate images using ComfyUI in about 20 seconds. What I noticed is when because of that recording, what would happen is the images took a little bit longer. They started taking about 30 to 40 seconds, and the quality was you could tell there were some artifacts and stuff. So I didn't understand that. That's weird. And then was it yesterday or the day before? I can't remember. I think the day before, not yesterday. I was running my custom web UI in Alma, and that crashed. And the funny thing is, because Alma it left some zombie resource processes, what happened was this GPU was still recording, but it would not stop recording because it just basically screwed up the system. So then that's when I started. So because I mostly just do screencasts, so I'm not like gaming or anything like that. So meaning that the integrated graphic is able to do the streaming and recording at the same time. Integrated graphic is also the one where I plug in all the monitors and everything else. The reason I do that is also because this GPU it's not meant for you to plug in displays. It's really meant for, I think it was for crypto mining. So so that's perfectly. Like I said, just make sure your GPU. Now, I don't expect you guys to have a GPU like this. Most likely, most of you are probably gonna have consumer grade GPUs, anywhere from 4 gigs to probably 16. Some of you might have a 24 gig, some of you might have multiple GPUs. That's all fine. So I bought mine used off eBay. The reason is because in Canada here, the GPUs and they're ridiculously overpriced. Like ridiculously overpriced. For the same price, I could probably fly from here in Ontario all the way to probably California, stay in a hotel, probably a nice hotel too, and probably take a business class, buy a GPU there, and fly back to Canada, and you'll still save money. That's how ridiculously expensive they are here. Okay, so once you know how much VRAM you have, that's not the be-all end-all. What you can do is, for example, I have 32 gigs of VRAM, so this, for example, this 1.2 model, it runs best if you have 80 gigs of VRAM. So that's basically impossible. I'll probably need like 3 of these GPUs, but I would not put them in a consumer on a consumer motherboard, especially the ATX. Definitely should be usable. So here's the first hint. So it will be usable, you guys too, most likely, if you have a quantization GGUF. So basically going forward now, all the models I'm going to use are going to be GGUF, and all our model offloading techniques in ComfyUI. So one of my viewers helped me last time with ComfyUI, and I haven't touched ComfyUI since. Not because I hate it or anything. It's simply that it's clearly meant for obviously NVIDIA GPUs. It does do a decent job with image generation, but I found something I will share with you in about 2 weeks' time. I need to test it out first, but I think I found a perfect solution where when I found llama.cpp, which is really amazing. It's way faster than Alma client because it's more low level. Now, of course, you need to go down a little bit, but that's fine. I mean, I prefer simplicity, also for speed. Even just using the CPU, it was much faster. For example, it was much faster using just the CPU with llama.cpp than using Alma with the GPU. So that just blew my mind away. So I said I did a tutorial yesterday. I showed you how I set everything up. Now, you also need to have, obviously, make sure you have one of the latest Qualcomm drivers. I'm on Linux, so you usually need about 6.3 or above. That's required for efficient use of the NME GPU and AI tasks. Now, I'm also well aware that AMD might stop supporting some of the GPUs, so you might need to drop down. For example, you might not be able to get the latest one. You might get another one which is still supported. Now you can still run like OpenCL or anything like that, so that's perfectly fine. What I meant to say was that just get the latest one that's available for your GPU, the drivers. So here they say that you need this was obviously for video generation. They say 64 gig minimum, 32 is the absolute minimum. So 64 gigs is recommended. Unfortunately for me, I only have 32 gigs of RAM. Now I was looking to get more, but the prices went way up, and I'm unlikely to buy more RAM on expenditure wise because it's DDR4, and basically DDR4 is at a dead end right now. Now somebody will say, no, Edward, it's going to be around for 10 years. That's probably true, but what I'm trying to say is that when I do upgrade, obviously I'm going to upgrade in the next 10 years or whatever, that RAM is not going to be useful. So it doesn't make sense for me, for example, to get 128 gigs when it's not going to be used, right? Now, if it's extremely cheap or affordable, yeah, I'll get it because I can do a lot of stuff for the next 5-6 years. Absolutely. Okay, so RAM is essential for model offloading, which moves part of the model not actually be used to the system RAM to free up VRAM. Now that is actually true, especially now. I notice most of the new models, they love RAM. Forget about VRAM, they love RAM. So a lot of models coming out, they're more in tune for local AI, but they want to do everything in RAM. So for example, you guys saw what happened when I was trying to run the ComfyUI. Every single time it would load everything into RAM first before it passes it to the GPU, and that used to drive me crazy. I'm like, why? So at least with Llama CPP, I'm able to do that. I can tweak it, and you guys saw the stuff I did yesterday. Now for storage, this one I highly recommend. Use a minimum is an SSD. Obviously, if you have an NVMe, they're normally faster. I mean, obviously it depends on what type of SSD you get, but yeah, I would have not used a hard disk for that. That's gonna, yeah, you'll be pulling your hair out for that. For storage, like after you've created something like a video or whatever, yeah, you can put it on your mechanical disk. But for stuff like this, the reason I recommend having the minimum with SSD is that if you need to create like a RAM, not a RAM disk, what do you call it? Swap file. So it will be slower than obviously RAM, which is slower than VRAM, but it's better than nothing, especially if you have very large models. Now you can bypass some of this stuff, as I said before. If you watch the video, the one I did yesterday, I didn't write an article for the video yesterday, but I'm going to, in a few days, I'm going to write one, test a model, a bigger model than the one I did yesterday, and I think you guys will like that as well. So I'm using my own UI, web UI, because I have very simple needs, and I don't need all the fancy stuff. So what I'll do is, I was hoping to do that today, but I didn't feel like it. I didn't feel like running the the fan again. But maybe when that article's up that day, that night, I'll probably tweak my web UI to make it a little bit more fancy. There are a few things which still need to be done. And then here it says you need Python, PyTorch with Qualcomm support, and ComfyUI. This is correct if you're going to run ComfyUI, but I found I've been there, I think about 3 or 4 projects out there which claim that they can run without using something like a ComfyUI or PyTorch. Basically, instead of using Python, they're running basically just on C or C++. So that's going to be much faster. Obviously, they're not going to have as many things as, for example, Python will have, but we will test that out. So don't worry, there's going to be a lot of AI related stuff coming soon. Also, that also reminds me, tomorrow is going to be my last Git related content. Let me guys know if you want me to continue, because it's not like I've run out of ideas. The thing is, I've run out of beginner friendly Git tutorials is what I'm trying to say. Like one time I tried to go up just a little bit more, like some little slightly, I don't even call them advanced, some more useful like Git hooks, and that content didn't do very well. So then I backed off, and that's why I've been doing the Git server stuff. But I'm saying is that I've basically run out of more topics for that kind of stuff. So you guys let me know if you want me to continue the Git stuff, what stuff you want to see. Otherwise, because there's a lot of AI stuff, that maybe I can stop Git for a while and just do more AI stuff. There's a lot of AI stuff. I haven't even begun, touching it. There's quite a lot of AI stuff, and you guys will like it, because the stuff I'm going to be doing is going to be more friendly towards running on commodity hardware. Some of the stuff you don't need a GPU. For example, some of the stuff I was reading and researching, you can run it on an ARM CPU obviously without a GPU. So that's fantastic. And some you can even run it on an older Adreno. I think that's the GPU that Samsung created for their older phone. Like I think it's like it was the what was that Google phone? The Nexus, I think Nexus 4. So yeah, that's amazing, right? Okay, so I'm skipping the license here because I said this tutorial is not about this specific WAN 2.2T to text to video. It's about how you select a model. So this content is still relevant. That's why I said when I created this article, as you can see, it's a very long article. I created this because I wanted this to be the one-stop place where you go if you want to decide what model you should pick. This will help you decide which one to pick. So as you can see here, one of the problems I had is that on idle, my dedicated GPU is at 43. And then when it's loading when it's loading just a model, this is in Comfy UI, it jumps up to 80 degrees Celsius from 43. So basically it basically doubles, right? So if you don't know, because this GPU didn't come with a cooling apparatus, so what I did is I bought a fan shroud, and it came with a 40 millimeter fan. So the fan just blows cool air right through the GPU, similar to what the server, because the server case will do the same thing. The problem is it's very loud, because servers like you're not supposed to be in a server room. You're supposed to set up and move. So obviously, because I'm using it in my workstation, it's going to be loud when I'm running. So what I usually do is I run it for a few minutes, generate my images or video or whatever content I want. Then I can switch it off. So I prefer running it manually. So as I see here, I did create a physical, by default on Fedora, it created, it used some of my RAM to create a compressed ZRAM swap. Now that's important to know, because, so remember I had 32 gigs of RAM, but it's not really 30 gigs of RAM, because 8 gigs is used. So I'm really down to, actually before that, remember I said I have integrated graphics. So integrated graphics reserves 4 gigs of that. So I'm really down to 28 gigs. And then this guy, I think uses 4 gigs. I think I was wrong when I said 8 gigs. I guess it uses 4 gigs, and then it compresses it so much that you basically come up with another 4 gigs. So that's going to be, now we only have about 24 gigs of usable RAM. But however, that is also not true, because as I said before, for example, I'm running OBS, I have a bunch of web browsers opening, I have FFmpeg for the multi-stream, and I might open up a few things of some applications. So my point is that probably takes about a gig, plus a GNOME desktop, so it takes about another gig or two. So basically what I'm saying is that the usable RAM could be, target 22 gigs. So when you have 22 gigs of usable RAM, right? So just so that means that even though I have 32 gigs of RAM, the usable one is probably around 20 gigs. As you can see here, that's how I came up with this number. So those type of numbers. So that means that when you're picking your models, also be aware that the amount of RAM you actually have is not really what you bought, meaning that it's being used, so you don't have as much RAM as you think you do. So that's something to understand. And most of the the documentation and stuff. So yeah, 32 gigs of RAM is enough. No, it's not. So I'm saying is that just be aware of that. So either you stick to smaller models. Don't think smaller models are bad. I've been testing them. They're pretty good as well. I got some pretty good results. Some of the best results from the smaller models. As you will see next week as well, I was really surprised with some of the results I got. One of the answers was actually for the first time ever something I haven't trained. The result was very, very, very good. Okay, so this is how I created this is how I created the swap file. So I said it's all in there. Obviously I'm on Linux. You can see all that stuff. I'll scroll down. The part I want is right here. I want to explain all this stuff here. So the easiest way to explain this is I'm going to open up a browser, and I'm going to go to Hugging Face, because most of the people who post there, most of the people who post on Hugging Face, they do a very good job of providing this information in the model. So this will help you pick the model. So let's go to Hugging Face. I'll pick this one here. This is the one I'm going to test next week using my web UI, my custom web UI. So here we go. Now you see it says this is the Gemma, the Rider J Gutenberg 10B GGUF. So this 10B, that means it's 10 billion parameters, right? So not all models are created the same. By the way, the license is the Apache 2 license, but be aware that when you see Gemma here, that means that it most likely started with the Gemma model. So the Gemma model has a different license. Its license is actually it's restricted license, so it's not fully open source. What that means is that even if the code is available and they give you the model, they put restrictions on it in that they allow you to use it for commercial use. That's fine, but I'm saying is that basically there are some things they won't allow you to use it for. For example, usually stuff that's not safe for work. So that's a restriction. So I don't consider that to be open source. Open source means there's no restrictions on the use. I'm talking about the use of the software. You might not like someone, but the point is that once you put restrictions or EULAs, then it's not on the open source, even if the source is available for anybody to contribute or look at. All right, so if you notice something here, forget about the downloads for a second. If you see here, you can look at to get the hardware compatibility, you have to log in. But the thing I like models like this, which are open source, you see that I said again, this is Apache 2 license. I did a dedicated tutorial on the Apache 2 license. I also wrote a write up, and there's a video, so you can go check it out. So that one, there's no restrictions. The only thing that they say is that you have to obviously honor the copyright, meaning that you have to say that these are the people who originally created the software, and also there's what's the other one? You have to leave that the original license there. No, it doesn't mean you can't change the license. It just means that you have to say what the original license was. So that's it. There's only two, I believe. As I said, you can go check it up as well, the Apache 2 license. Okay, so if you see here, we'll talk about the hardware compatibility, because sometimes you just have to test it. Obviously, the person who created this probably tested it on their own system. They probably didn't have multiple computers and stuff to test it on your own. So if you read here, it will tell you that I'll just start here. I'm not going to read everything. So it says this is a Gemma 2 model merge of the top storytelling writing models as noted at EQ Bench, tuned specifically for fiction, story, and writing. Due to the high stability and compressed nature of the model, you can use it for general use too, including roleplay. So if you notice in next week's tutorial, clearly I'm not just using it for writing as well, but we'll see. We'll see if it's good for writing, if it passes my test. So this model requires Gemma instruct template and has 8K context window, but is extendable via rope to 32K or higher. Okay. And then it says this version of J. Gutenberg is a modified version of Gemma the Writer 9B and has been modified with Brainstorm a 5X adapter developed by David A.U. to alter output generation. This adds close to 1 billion parameters to the model, raising it to 46 layers. So you see the layers. I explained what those layers were yesterday. If you remember, by default, Llama CPP likes to split things up. So I'll give you an example. So when I ran it the first time, it obviously found my CPU and found 2 GPUs. So what it was doing is it was splitting things evenly. So basically 33% went to the CPU, 33% went to the dedicated GPU, and 33% went to the integrated GPU. So I didn't want that because I wanted everything to go to the dedicated GPU and leave the integrated GPU for, as I said before, the other stuff I do, like the display monitors and all that stuff. And the CPU is doing other stuff, so I don't want that. I mean, it can use a little bit of the CPU, but I wanted all the layers which can fit onto the GPU. So I was able to do that. It took out some trial and error, but I finally figured it out, and I'll show you guys that next week, at least for my AMD system. It has 508 sensors to a total of 10 10B parameters. So you can read more about all this stuff. So be careful. I said if you're trying to add all those things, because those ones are the ones which are under the restrictive license. But for me, for my use case, I don't need any of that stuff. So as I said, I just use Llama CPP, which is free and open source. So I didn't need them. But if you do, just be aware of that those ones are under a different license. That's why this can be, Apache license, and the Gemma license has those restrictions. Okay, so let's go back here. So if you see things like this, it says FP32 full precision, then FP16 half precision, FP8 8-bit, and then you have the GGUF K quaints, that's quantization, and then you have the K and the surface X's. Okay, so you don't have to be a genius to understand that the one that's going to use the highest memory, it's going to have the highest quality and highest fidelity, is going to be the FP32. Now the problem with that is, you can see here, you're going to need GPUs which are like 80 gigs VRAM, and obviously way more RAM as well. So that is unlikely to happen on a consumer grade software. So we're going to leave this kind of stuff for the server. Now the FP16s, this one, for example, in my current system, I can probably get away with this, but I probably need some more RAM. So this one is a minimal quality loss compared to the FP32. So the inference on high VRAM consumer GPUs. So for example, my GPU is 32 gigs. So as you can see, I could run this as standard for many stable diffusion workflows. So this is something that I can definitely run. Chosen checkpoint, as you can see here, usually you have stuff like FP16 safe tensors. Sorry. So I could definitely run this. However, I said I could. Most likely I won't be able to because of the RAM. My RAM is restricted, so I'll need more RAM to be able to run this. So the FP8, you can see the relative memory usage. It's 1/4 of the full 32. So this one is good, negligible loss for most info. You guys saw when I was generating the videos and images, you could definitely tell. And then it's mid-range GPU 16 to 24 gigs or when memory is the primary constraint. So as I said before, I was able to run this kind of stuff. So you can see these are the ones I tried, and you guys saw the results. So the results were actually not too shabby. Obviously, I said I should really get more RAM, and then I'll be able to run this guy. I won't be able to run FP32 unless I get, like, maybe I said 3 of these GPUs, but I don't want to do it in a consumer grade on the motherboard. Okay, and then then we have this GGUF, the K quantization. So basically, as you can see here, the memory usage usually is the lowest. So that's why you see this model, for example, you see it says GGUF. So that's why I recommend this one, because not only do they use less memory, and as you guys saw yesterday, it was using so low memory. Obviously, I'm using Llama CPP as well, so it used barely touched the memory. I think it used like 400 megabytes as opposed to, like, 20 gigs or whatever. So that's really impressive. Now, it's also an excellent balance of size and speed. Obviously, it's going to be slower, but I'm willing to wait a few seconds just so that I mean, I'm not in a big rush. I can wait a few seconds. It's not like I have to write I have to write a book every single hour or something. I'm okay with that, right? I'm fine with that. And you see inference on memory constrained systems, e.g., for example, as I said, in my system, I have only 32 gigs of VRAM, but only 20 so gigs of 20 gigs really usable. So this is why I'm going forward. I'm just going to use GGUF. As I said before, if the price of memory goes down here in Canada, then I'll definitely try up the FP8, FP16. I said I'm not going to bother with the FP32 no matter what. I'm just not going to do that. And the primary used for large language models, that's what I do. And then, but the concept applies to any aggressive quantization. So I'll come back to this in a second. So if you notice, even here, you have this KSLM. What do all these mean? So the surfaces. Basically, this let us denote the subversions within a bit depth. For example, you say Q4 underscore K. The M stands for medium, means it offers the best blend of speed and quality. And S means small, which is for maximum compression. So I'm pretty sure you guys know that's going to be the slowest. Okay, and we already talked about this, so I'm not going to. You see the problem if I use FP16, it will be too big for my combined VRAM and the memory, so it's going to use the disk swap, so that's going to be slow. It's going to take forever, so I don't want that. So I can use FP8 or Q4. So that one is that will most likely work, even if it has to do some swapping. That's perfectly fine. So the recommendations. So if possible, use Q5. As you guys saw yesterday, I did use the Q5 models. That's one I downloaded for the DeepSeek R1. I got the Q5 and I was very happy that it was able to work. Usually, this is just approximate. They're usually around 10 gigs. I think the one I got yesterday was about it was about there 10-11 gigs. So that's a good size. And then the quality is usually very high, very negligible loss. And this is the parameter's best balance of speed fidelity for systems with 32 gigs of VRAM. So that I said that's what I'm going to be using. That's the best for my particular system. Now the Q4, the KM, remember M stands for medium if it's there. Those ones are obviously the size is a little bit smaller. It's a good industry standard. That's a fallback if the Q5 causes some significant speed issues. I didn't have any problems yesterday, so I said I'm going to be doing Q5 going forward. So that's how it's going to work. Now I do have these models, so I believe I downloaded both of them. So what I'm going to do is I will probably keep both of these, and I will run them if that will be in about 2 weeks time. Yeah, about 2.5 weeks or something like that. All right. So yeah. So you can read. So most of this is about LoRa's and all this stuff. So this is specific to video generation. So we don't need to go down there. Basically, we can just stay right here. Right here. This is pretty good. So I recommend, actually even here, this is fine too. So what I recommend is go for the highest amount of, go for GGUF if you have a consumer grade system, and go for the highest number after Q you can. So start with at least Q4 and the medium, and then go there. So if you go here, you see here is a 2-bit. That one is most likely not even worth downloading. Now that is probably this guy here is most likely meant for something like a Raspberry Pi, which has no GPU, so it will be extremely fast, but the quality is obviously going to be very low, not even worth it. Most times, if you keep on reading, they'll tell you don't even bother with the the 2-bit. The 3-bit, I've never tried a 3-bit before. I've always gone with 4-bit and higher. But I guess if you're doing something, I don't know, maybe I can't even think of why you would actually use 3-bit. I understand the 2-bit. I said that's something like a Raspberry Pi where you don't have a GPU. I don't know why you'd use 3-bit because the quality is not going to be as good. So I have no idea. But maybe somebody can explain why you pick 3-bit. Oh, you know what? I guess if you have an older device and maybe just testing out. Oh yeah, there you go. If you're testing out AI to see if it's worth it, so I guess you can start with you can even do the 2-bit just to see if it's worth it. Then obviously, then you know that maybe next time you upgrade, you'll be able to go a little bit higher. So this is where I recommend you start. And you can see here they have the KM. This is the one I would get. You see it's a little bit bigger than all the previous ones. So you can see the file size as well. So this is one I would recommend getting. It's a medium. Medium means it's a medium quality, a good balance. So this is the one I would start with. And then, as I said, for me, what I did for this particular model is I grabbed this one, the Q5 KM 7.2 gigabyte one. So this is the one I remember. M stands for medium. S just means that it's highly compressed. So if you have problems with RAM or VRAM, you can try the S. So the S, this one here, the KS, is probably just basically insignificantly better than the Q4 KM. Now, if you really need the better quality, then you obviously go for Q5. But if you want maybe a good medium between the speed and the loading time, then obviously go for the Q4 M there as well. So I went with this one. Now, according to my particular specs, you might say, hey Edward, you have 32 gigs of VRAM. Why don't you get the 6-bit or the 8-bit? Well, I'll tell you why. Even though the size from the Q5 goes from 7.2 to 10.7 gigs, that's not quite true, because the way you probably want to remember when it loads it, it's actually going to be much bigger when remember this. The Q stands has been quantized, meaning that it has been compressed. Remember, it have to be decompressed. So even though it's 10.7 gigs, when it decompresses, it's probably going to be actually I did some estimate and calculation. I found a number somewhere. I can't remember where I found it. So this 8-bit here is actually going to be 30. I believe it's going to be 33, basically 34 gigs. So the problem with that, as you can tell, is I don't have enough RAM. And the VRAM is only 32 gigs, so it won't fit when it's fully decompressed, when it's doing its thing. So that's why I can get away definitely with the Q6, but I was pretty happy with the Q5 results. If you guys want me to do some Q6 stuff, looks like I should be able to comfortably do this one as well. Because even this, I believe the calculation is this will probably be 24 gigs when it's fully decompressed in the CPU, sorry, not the CPU, in the VRAM. So if I can get this in the VRAM, that should be perfectly fine. But I said I was very happy with the results for the Q5, so I'll probably stick with Q5s going forward, unless the quality is bad enough, or I might bump it up to this one. If you notice one different thing between the 2-bit, 3-bit, 4-bit, 5-bit, 6-bit, and 8-bit is that you notice this is the 4 bits are the most popular, and you notice there's less variety the more you the higher the bit goes up, right? So for example, in 5 you have the S and M, and then when you go to 6-bit there's no M, and 8-bit there's no M. So you notice, so that's what I'm trying to say, is that they're not as highly compressed. So that's what I'm saying, they're going to use a lot of your RAM and the VRAM. So that's basically what I wanted to talk about. So that's, now you guys should be able to know what models to pick. I explained the quantization. I explained all this stuff here, as you can see. So now you know which one to pick. And so for example, if I want, let's say this is the one I picked this one. So what you do is just click here, and then it will come up here, and it will give you it will show you how you can use this model. Obviously you can download, that's what I usually do. There's also gives you a download link, and you can see, make sure it's always GGUF. For most of the stuff you guys do, and I do as well, meaning I'm using consumer grade, consumer grade, it is PC, your local PC. You're most likely going to be sticking around Q4 and Q5. I said I was pretty happy with these results. You guys will see them next week. You can see here it says the tokenized GGML model is actually Llama, obviously, that's Llama CPP. Also make sure that most of these are always going to be Llama, but just be sure, because some of them might be a different, they might use a different model. So just make sure you have the correct model for whatever you're doing as well. And here's a chat template as well, and here the tensors. What do we say? Sensors. So you can also, all these numbers are here to help you. For example, when you can pass some of these numbers to get even more accurate results. I was pretty happy with what I did, and I'll show you that later. So you can see it has 45, I think, so the layers, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so those are the, it starts here, yeah, 46 layers, so there we go. So those are all the layers as well. Yeah. All right, so Gamma 2, that's the general architecture. Gamma is obviously, as I said, it's a Google, it's from Google. And you see the file type, it says right here, Q5KM. Obviously, they also put it up here in the name. So that's how you grab it. So you can grab other models as well. Just look for those key things. Now, some models, they're not just only for chat. Some models are also for video and image generation. So obviously, those will probably be a little bit bigger. So just be aware of that. It's probably better to get a model that, for example, for this one is basically, even it says right the name, it's for writing. So this one is obviously going to be vastly superior because it just concentrates on writing. So if you get a model that does both, it's going to be either way too big, or it won't it won't be able to do everything well. So it's worth it to just pick and choose. For example, if I want an image if I want images, I'll get one that does images. If I want videos, get one that does videos, right? Now, somebody will say, well, videos and images are the same thing. Kind of. So most videos are basically just based on images anyway, so that might work. What I'm saying is that if I want writing, I was pretty impressed with this guy's result, and I'll show you how it works. So basically, you download the image. I said you click the download, you download. I'm not going to do it because I've already done it. Let me close this, and You can see here, you can ask for the provider for support and all that stuff here as well. So you see, it says not safe for work, those type of things. So it also gives you the original version, and you can, as I said, you can go read more about all this stuff here, what the changes were, etc., etc., etc. Like longer prompts vastly increase the quality of the output. So what that means is that instead of asking it a simple question, if you ask it a more elaborate question, it will, for example, one of the questions I always ask is, who's the mayor of Toronto? Now, I didn't realize this until later on. There's a place called Toronto in California. I don't know if they have a mayor, and then obviously there's Toronto, Canada in Ontario. So if you're more specific, you say, who's the mayor of Toronto, Ontario, Canada? That is more specific, so it's more likely to get a more accurate answer. But I just asked it, who is the mayor of Toronto, and it was able to get the result quickly. And here we go. So this is what I was telling you earlier. You see, it says Q4KM and Q4KS are good, strong coins. However, if you can run Q5, Q6, or Q8, go for the highest coin you can. This repo also has 3 ARM coins for computers that support this coin. If you use these on a non-ARM machine, token per second will be very, very low. So due to the unusual nature of this coin mixture, that's IQ4XS, mixture processing, generations from it will be different from other coins. Okay, so you can read all that stuff up there as well. And it says special note on Q2K and Q3 coins. So I'll read this out to you because it's very important. You may need to use temp 2 or lower with these coins, 1 or lower for Q2K. Just too much compression at this level, damaging the model. I'll see if the iMatrix versions of these coins will function better. So that's what I was trying to tell you, that they're so highly compressed, you probably lost the quality. You have to fool around with it. But I'm saying is they're good for what do you call it? They're good for just if you're starting out, or if you if you have a very low spec computer, you can try those low ones. So there you go. You can read all this stuff here, and this is some of the stuff it's produced. Remember, this is the writer version. So let's go down. Wow, that's pretty good there. Text generation. Okay. So the other model that I used, let me. Oh, I actually don't. Yeah, I can. Yeah, actually, what time is it now? Okay, it's been an hour, so you guys can watch the video from yesterday where I went through. I used my web UI to run the model. I think I ran Llama 2. Let me just double check on that. I open up here, go to AI. I'll show you what model I ran yesterday. So as you can see here, I put all my models here. You see, I deleted all that stuff for Alma, and you see this is the model I ran yesterday. This is the Llama 2.7b, and obviously I also downloaded the DeepSeek. So you see, the DeepSeek is 22 gigs. That ran perfectly fine, as you saw in yesterday's tutorial. And this is the one we're going to run next week. It's the 8.2. There's a Q6. Oh, it's Q6. Oops. So it's a Q6. Sorry, I said Q5. I was wrong. It's a Q6. And man, I made so many mistakes today. Jeez. So it's a Q6. Sorry about that. And then this one is also Q6. So I'm wondering if we have time. Let me go and search for that model. Oops, that's not correct. Let's go back here. F2. Copy that. Let's search for it. Okay, there's only one. This guy, yeah, this must be the one. Is it? That doesn't seem to be the runtime error. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay, I'll just grab the entire name. How do I search again? Oh, I spelled it wrong. Where is Huh. It's clearly, that's a Q2. What Q is it again? It was Q6. Richard, I can't remember. Must be this guy. Richard Yama warning. Okay. So here we go. This is the one. This is where I got it from. You see, it has the IQ. I don't want that one. The one I got was it Q5? Sorry again. Oh, it's Q6. Yeah, here we go. This is the one I got. You see, it's 5. This is the one I got. So it looks like for this one I could actually. You know what? I wonder if I want. You know what? Let me try. Looks like I should be able to run the Q8 as well. You know what? This tutorial is going to go a little bit longer. I'm going to download this one, the Q8, because it looks like it's small enough. I should be able to run it. So again, I'll come back here in a second. What is that? Oops. Original model. Okay, so I'm going to download this one. I'm going to use ARIA. So just give me a second. I explained ARIA yesterday, so I'm not going to explain it here. You can go look it up yourself. Let's go down, 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 down. Okay, so here, here we go. So I'm gonna grab the name. And where is the URL? Okay, I'll just copy the link. Oh, no. Where is the link? Just give me a second. It's this one here. Where can I copy the link to download? Am I crazy? I don't see it. Oh, download link. Here we go. Okay, I'll show you how I got here. Okay, so what I did is I went here and I clicked here, and you see it says copy download link. That's what I was looking for. Copy download link. I'm going to use ARIA because it's much faster. It's much faster than curl or curl. What's the other one? wget. So I go in here. I open up the console. Put the console here so you guys can see it. Okay, then I will, what's what I'm looking for here? I'm going to clean this up. I just paste it here. So I'm going to run that. Oops. What happened there? Not resolve. Oh, that's weird. I did copy the download link. Let's try one more time. Copy the link. Paste. Yeah, that's correct. That's weird. And clear this. Paste. Okay, that's working. I don't know. I guess I must have done something weird. Okay, so that it shouldn't take too long because it does parallel downloads and it can resume as well. All right, so while that's going on, I'll talk a little bit about this model. So where am I here? I have to click the back button. So it explains where this model came from originally, as you can see. Oh, there's not too much information here. Okay, that's great. Yeah, so it also tells you the size. So I got, as I said, I got the Q6K, and there's also Q8. Obviously, this is you guys can see the quaint, so obviously I'm getting this one. The results I expect them to be better than the Q6 one. So for this particular model, obviously this is better. You can see you should be able to run this on. So if you see here, I'd recommend starting with the Q4 KM in my medium. Down, get this one. You can also get away with probably this one as well, the K. Get the medium, and then I've never seen an I and O, so I don't know what those stand for. But oh, the size is a little bit bigger. Oh, this is Q5. Sorry, I was thinking. Yeah. So I did I did the Q6K here, and obviously you see it's small size. So because it's a 7B model, those type of models were even fine on my old GTX 950, the end, which is 2 gig of RAM. So, but I think it will probably struggle with this one as well. Or if you use the CPU, if you use llama.cpp, you can use the CPU. So yeah, this definitely would work well. So I'm downloading this one right now. I'm gonna see if it's better than the one what we did yesterday, because this shouldn't be a problem as well. So let's go do a quick review of let me see what percent it is right now. Okay, so that's fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my easy folder here, and then I'm going to go to tutorial with generative AI, and I already have a copy here. Perfect. So I'm just going to, so this one was, I'm going to create I prefer doing this in a command line. Sorry about that. I prefer just doing this in a command line. So I'll just make I'll show you what I'm doing here in case people are watching this on, you know what? Okay, that's fine. I'll just do it here. So I'm just going to call it tests. I'm going to copy this, Control C, and then paste them in here. I'm going to make a few modifications. I think the server, I need to change the server, and I need to change my index here as well. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to open this up with, I should probably use the text editor I used earlier today, which was Light XL. I should probably start doing that. Where's the Guinea? Wait, no, not Guinea. Okay, I guess I have to search for the text. You can't search? Text. Oh my goodness. Non-text editor. Where's the non-text editor? Seriously? Okay, it looks okay. Oh, maybe because I selected multiple. Maybe that doesn't work. Let me try. Open with. Wow. It still doesn't show up here. That is super weird. Okay, I open up the hard way. Okay, the text editor, I need to open up just this two. Okay, and then what I need to do, is it done yet? Oh, it's almost finished. So I gotta speed this up a little bit. Okay, copy that. So you see this one, it says Q6 here. I'm gonna change it to Q8. Replace. And then the server one here, I'm gonna replace the model. It should be here somewhere. Oh, here it is, the model. Oh, that might. Oh yeah, that's probably gonna be a problem. I left a space, so I need to remove that space. Let's remove that space and replace all. There we go. Should be fine now. Yeah, it should be fine. Okay. So again, I'm just using plain Python. I just import JSON and HTTP server. That's plain, obviously Python stuff. And I'm importing the simple HTTP request handler, HTTP server, and from llama_cpp. That's llama.cpp. import llama here, or import OS and system. So the key parts here are this one here. So this forces it to use only the first GPU. Otherwise, it will try to, as I said before, put everything on the CPU equally. So I force it to be. So that's a trick. If you have multiple GPUs, you can tell it which ones to use. So in this case, I just want 0, which is the dedicated one, and then I put no map here, and then what else did I do here? And obviously the model path, this one, and then the obviously localhost, and then the port number is 8000. That's for the HTTP. And the other stuff we just pass in. So the GPU layers, you just make up a number. So we saw how many layers those models have. So 999 is more than enough. And then you can also set the number of GPU layers to the GPU layers offload and the target GPU index, obviously, which is 0, the dedicated one. Dedicated always comes first, at least on my system. So you can see all this stuff here. As I said, you can change these numbers. When you look at that page, that will also help you. I'm just going to leave the defaults. I mean, when I was testing, because I did look all this stuff up. So I said we'll go over this when I write the tutorial. For this, the max tokens, I set it there. Temperature. If you remember, one of those models saying if you're using a small one, you change the temperature. So you can change all of that. That's all up to you. And the rest of this is just simple Python. Just gets a request and then sends it to the llama, and then see, very simple. You see that 166 lines. If you want to look here, I'm using for the HTML, I'm using the marked, that's for markdown, so that the text it's more easy to read. I'm also using the highlight, so when I ask it for code, it's able to display the code in a more so I can easily copy paste it. So there we go. And then we have some simple JavaScript here. Obviously this is for the highlighting, from markdown to highlighter. I detect the language and highlight it. And here they grab the user input, and we have the message. The message we change it depending on what we get back from the server. And what else is here? This is the AI point. That's from Python. And what else do we have here? That's it. Nice and simple. Very, very simple stuff. So this is the same as when it was for the Alma client. I just tweaked it so it works with Llama. See, less code. All I did was DNF install Llama CPP and Llama the Python module. That's it. That's all I did. So because everything is done in C, C++, it's way faster than any of the other clients I've used. So so I'm pretty happy with that. So this allows me, for example, to run the Q8. I would not have been able to run that even with the GPU. All right, so that's this. I'm gonna close this guys up, and I think the download is done. Yeah, download is done, nice and quickly. I'm gonna stay here so you can see this is the model, the Q8. You can see the file size, it's 7.2 gig. The Q6 one was 5.5. So let's see how this runs, because it's going to use the GPU. So what I need to do is I need to go back to the terminal here, and I need to do a few things first. I'll show you what I need to do. First thing I need to do is I need to run my cooler controller. So I need to run that as sudo or a super user. Yeah, so I'll put in a password for that one. Okay, then we don't need this anymore. And then these guys don't need it as well. What I need to do is I need to go here and start the Python. I need to start the Python server as well. So I'll open up a different. You know what? I'll do it in the same one as this one. Where's this one? I'll do it here as well. So there's just one terminal. So what I'll do is I'll do cd, go to home folder, go to the ZZ folder. I think it's tutorial. Z tutorial. I think it's generative AI, and what was it, Llama something, Llama 2, and those in tests. Perfect. Then I just type Python server py, and you see it's going to load. Let me make sure you guys can see this. So as you can see, it's only going to find, you see, it loaded all, it's going to attempt to offload 900 and, sorry, I forgot to zoom in, 999 layers to the ROCm 0, that's the dedicated GPU, and you see, when you see this ROCm 0, so everything is loaded into GPU, and the Q8, others cannot be used, preferred buffer type ROCm using CPU instead, that's perfectly fine. And you can see the memory it's used from the GPU, it's only 6 gig, so that's pretty nice. And you see all the layers are all on the GPU, that's fantastic. And here we go, it's ready to go on localhost 8000. Isn't that much faster than waiting for all the other weird stuff to go on? So that's fantastic. So what I need to do here is first I'll open up my cooler. Here we go, it's localhost 11987. This is for the cooler control. This one here is the dedicated GPU, and this one is the integrated GPU, so I don't need the integrated GPU. I mean, it's working for something else. And the fan I'm looking for is fan number 2, which is this one here. It's set to 2%, but I've already tested this several times. So I usually put it at, oops, not 250. I put it at 50%, which will be about 8,000 RPM. So the reason I do this, some of you might say, why don't you just create a fan profile? Remember, the GPU didn't come with a cooling system. So there's no sensor, there's no way to, I mean, I can read the sensors, but there's no way to control it unless I jimmy something up, which I don't want to do. So instead, I've also found that when you run AI stuff, this temperature just jumps up instantly. I don't even think a fan profile will be able to keep up. So obviously, I don't want to be running it at 10,000 RPM or whatever all the time, because if the first time you plug it into plug into the CPU, I mean into the case, it was running at 15,000 RPMs. It's so loud, it's like a jet engine taking off. So what I did was I monitored the temperature here, and I found that running it up just below 3,000 RPM is, for my own sanity, there's a little buzzing sound, but that's perfectly fine. So that's quite enough for me. So there we go. Now, this one obviously doesn't map correctly to the BIOS, so that's perfectly fine. You see it's a little bit higher RPMs, but that's perfectly fine. And because it's cold, I mean, winter's around the corner here, normally it's around 47, because the RPMs went up a little bit, it cools it down slightly, and because it's cold, I said it's around 41. I expect in winter, because of some crazy stuff I'm going to do, it's probably going to be around 40, maybe 39. All right. So I'm going to be ready to apply this setting when we're doing any AI stuff. So I'll show you here. I'm going to ask it a very simple question, and you're going to see how fast it goes. So, oh, I forgot to open up our localhost 8000. You see, it's loaded up our Q8 as you saw in the command line. So I'm going to ask it a very simple question. What license do you use? So I'm going to hit send here, and then I'm going to start this guy here as well, because I don't want, you see, it's already went up. You see how quickly it went up? Just me, you see how quickly the temperature, okay, it's done. It already found the answer. Oh no, maybe not, because the RPMs are up. So it's still, I should have found the answer. Okay, is it going down or not? Alright, let's go check on the command line what's going on. Here we go. It used those tokens. It went to the /API, and you can see in this prompt this will reduce the response quality. Consider removing it. Okay, that's so you can follow those instructions. Okay. So is this going down? So okay, so I'm sure it's done now. So there you go. So you see the answer. Great. I'm glad you asked. I'm just an AI. I don't have a personal license, but I'm here to help you with any questions or tasks you have. If you're looking for information on licensing, here are some common ones, open source. So this is not the answer I wanted. The answer I wanted was what license. Okay. So let me ask it again. What license were you? What license you released under. I want to know if I can use you for my project. Are you released under an open source license? Question mark. Okay, I hit send. And this part where it says it's thinking, obviously that was from the JavaScript from the HTML page. Is it done already? Holy man, that was fast. Great to hear you're interested in using me for your project. I'm an AI assistant trained by Meta AI, and I'm not released under an open source license. My training data models are proprietary and owned by Meta Platforms Inc., including Facebook, formerly Facebook Inc., and my responses are generated based on that training. There we go. So that answer is actually correct, because remember it's a llama one. So it's not, the reason it's not open source, in case you don't know, is because they don't allow you to ask it things like not safe for work stuff, right? And I'm not sure if it's allowed to do commercial stuff. You have to check on that. So that's actually a very good answer. So you know what? I'm pretty curious. I'm going to ask it some other questions. I'm going to ask it the same questions I always ask all the other AI. I hope I do have those questions here. Looks like I do not. I need to open up a file, which I did. Hopefully I still have it here. It's not too far away. Where's the AI stuff? Hopefully it's in, oh, that's not it. Where are you? Oh, come on. Choosing the best backend. Okay, so I kind of remember what those questions were. It was that's oops. Then I think I messed up. Oops, I think I messed up here. Where did I close the thing? Oh yeah, choosing. Here we go. So one of those questions is, I want to make sure I get this answer correctly. So you know what, I'm going to, okay wait, I'm going to be stubborn here. I'm actually going to grab, I'm going to open something up here, because I really want to ask it the proper questions. So where is the DeepSeek one? Here we go, DeepSeek. I'm going to ask it the same questions I always ask all the other AIs. So here, who's the mayor of Toronto? Let's see. This is the Q8 model. Okay, so it's thinking. So you can tell this one's going to take a little bit more longer. Oh, it's actually pretty quick. All right. The mayor of Toronto is John Tory, so that's wrong. So clearly this one has wrong information as well. The mayor is actually Olivia Chow. Okay, so I'm going to ask it for some code. It's really fast. Wow, it's even faster than the Q6. So you know what? I'll see if I can actually bump it up to Q6 and Q8. Okay, so let's look at this code. I can tell if the code is correct. So it still looks like it's marked down, but that's perfectly fine. Check if functions exist. Wow, this must be really old code, but yeah, that's fine. It will exist. And then MySQL Connect username. Okay, it's hard coded. That's perfectly fine. Yeah, the code is correct. And then they also show you how you can use the MySQL query. I didn't ask for that, but I can tell you if this is correct. Select all. Feature. Oh, fetch array. Okay. Yeah, that looks correct. Yeah, that looks correct as well. Yeah, so that's pretty good. I'm gonna ask it about the 1080p screenshot as well for the GNOME desktop. This is fast. This is actually much, yeah, because I'm using a Llama CPP. You guys can see how fast it is. Whoa, look how fast that is. The answer came out very, very quickly. I'm gonna whoa, even, well, oh, okay, that's from imager.com. That's way different than yesterday's answer. You guys should watch yesterday's video when I was running the Q6. Q8 is really, I mean, I'm checking for the speed. Whoa, okay, activation pane, the quick launcher is about, oh, okay, the application pane on left side, quick access, that's for the built-in themes. Okay, I don't know to install. Okay, so this is one of the problems I'm having with my web UI. You see, when it gives a very long answer, it gets clipped off. So that's something I will have to fix, or tell it to, for example, because this is meant for writing. Obviously, this has to be way bigger, shouldn't be clipped off. So I'll have to tweak that, over time. But I'm not going to use this model, obviously. I'll probably use a specific model. Okay, I'm going to ask it for Kotlin code. See how fast that goes. I think another thing I should do is maybe add a timer. Maybe put a timer, how long it took to. Whoa, that is the fastest. That's the fastest answer I've ever received. You know, that's even faster than when I attempted in the past when I was testing like ChatGTP and what's the other one, the Google one, Gemma or Gemini. That is really fast. And remember, these are the GGUF models. So here's an example snippet. I can tell. I'll tell you if this is accurate or not. Most of this is usually wrong. First import the required libraries. Okay, and picture. Okay, there are more here because I'm going to say there's definitely more imports. Oh, I got clicked off again. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. That's one thing I need to fix because there's way more than this. So this got clicked off. So I can't verify if it's going to work or not because stuff got clicked off there. So I want to ask it for the Blender file animation. Let me see what answer it's going to give me. Wow. Go to, let me see if this one is correct. Go to particle menu and select fire. Adjust the, oh, this looks like it's accurate. You know what? I'm going to open up Blender here. I'm using obviously Blender. I'm using, oops, come on, get out of it. Come on. What's going on here? It's frozen? Look at the slope. Oh, I forgot. It's the GPU. Oops, okay, there we go. Alright, so it says, I know you have to go to, I think you have to go to, there's no particle menu, but I think you go to add, and then you can add this one. I think you can simply add, what is it here? It's one of this, it's either, is it a volume? No, it's not an object. I know it's an add. I can't remember. I did this a while back. Sorry guys, I don't remember. There's something you add and then automatically you change into fire. It's one of this here, but that answer is clearly wrong. Okay, but I'm impressed how quick that is. I am really impressed at how quick that is. So. File animation. You know what? I am actually curious. I'm going to ask it a follow-up question. I don't know if that works. Can you provide? Okay. You know what? I have a question I used to ask before. So I'm going to say, please provide a Blender Python API file for fire. What? For fire animation. Ooh, spelled that wrong. I didn't realize that was spelled wrong. I think I meant to say, please provide a Blender import string property, animation keyframes. I don't know why it's doing all that, because all you have to do is just import the Blender Python object, and you'll be able to do that all yourself. Bones. You want to try this? Oh, it's clipped off again. Yeah, so as I said, that's one of the things I need to do. But man, that was fast. I'm really, really, really impressed with this. I'm wondering what else I can ask it to do. Hold on, I'm thinking, guys. Okay, I'm going to ask it something. Can you summarize the content on this blog post? The GPU is being used. No, the GPU is not being used yet. Right, so let's go. Oh my goodness! Wow! Wow, 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 wow. So I'll be happy. Here's a summary of the content we provided using Markdown syntax. The blog post is access the 2.2. The model is designed to generate its training. I am really, really, really impressed. Huh. Oh, it got clipped off again. Yeah, so that's one thing I really need to fix. Hey, I'm wondering if it does videos as well. Let me actually see. Can you summarize? I don't think it will be able to, but I'm going to try anyway. Can you summarize the contents of a YouTube video? Because I'll be happy to. Please provide me. Oh, okay. All right. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna grab this video from this one here. Where's the video? The sound you're hearing is just the fan. So I'm gonna grab. Is this the URL for the video? Yes. Where's copy? Copy link. Here is the link to the YouTube video. Let's go see what's going on here with the cooler control. Oh, it's actually working. Oh, it finished already? What? Shall be able. Here's the information requested. Type. Oh, that must be an ad. Okay, this must be an ad. This is definitely an ad. So this is probably an ad on the video. So let me see if I can think of something. Oh, Odyssey. I'm gonna grab an Odyssey video of mine and see if it can summarize it. So what's the name of this video called? AI. Come on. Oh, let me go to. You know what? Let me go to Odyssey. I'll just go here. Oh no, I can't do that here. I have to do it from here. So let me click the link. So I'll go all the way down here and I'll click the link to Odyssey. Odyssey doesn't have ads. So what was the name of that video again? It wasn't too long ago, so let me check it out. It should be here somewhere. Is that it? No, that's DeepSeek. Where's it limited? Where are the other videos? Is that it? I thought. Oh, view more. Okay. Duh. Web chat, that's not it. Where is... Oh, here's the video. So this is the video I want. I don't want to play it. Can you summarize the contents of this Odyssey video? Link is... Okay, let's go back to cooler control. See, it worked a little bit. Huh, that's weird. That was pretty quick. There's no way we'd have finished the video that fast. So it's making this up. What in the world? Nah, okay, it made this up. Okay, so this is what they call hallucination, because clearly this video is about something else. I don't even talk about who is this person. Anita Collins, yeah, so that doesn't make any sense. It completely made this up. Oh wait, did I give you the wrong link? Oops, I gave you the... What is on YouTube? What the... Oh. Let's refresh this. Why is it YouTube? Oh. Okay, I'll ask the same question. Can you summarize the video contents of this Odyssey video? Paste it here. Yeah, Odyssey. There we go. That's an Odyssey one. Let's go back here and see it's going up. It's going up. Go up more. Oh, it's done already? That's impossible. Oh, here we go. So let's see what it says. Introduction. The video is hosted by Jumbo Shop and is titled okay, blah, 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 blah. It's 1 hour and 40 minutes long. That's correct. AI begins by showing, spelling mistake, showing the AI video on AMD, which is demonstrating the performance AMD Ryzen 9600. The video shows the AI running smoothly. The host mentions that the AI video is using AMD Ryzen. Oh, that's wrong. I didn't say, I said 5600 XT graphics. I think it's making some of this stuff up. Then it says, oh, no, that's not true. I think one, oh no, it's because the viewer was using that, I think, graphics card, so I mentioned that. So I was mistaken. Actually, let me stop this call. It's going to drive me crazy. I'm going to go back to 2% so I don't have to yell. So let's look at this. As I was saying, one of my viewers, the one who was helping me in this video, mentioned that he or she has this Radeon RX 6800 XT, because I think I specifically asked them. So although this was mentioned somewhere in the video, I believe. And then it says the host then demonstrates a Conf UI which is user friendly for controlling a video, allows users. This is the host demonstrates they want to on Linux MSC setup. Oh, it got clipped off here. Okay, so let's make sure it's not reading this. Yeah, it's definitely not reading this, because none of this stuff here is actually mentioned here. So wow, you know what this means? Wow, this is impressive. I'm blown away, honestly. I'm seriously blown away. The fact that it can wow. I'm actually blown away. I am super impressed with this So clearly the Llama 2.7b is not good for answering questions, but man, as a workhorse, the fact that you can do things like this, like sorry, that's the wrong one. It's able to go to videos, which obviously it doesn't know how to skip over ads, but the fact that wow, I am generally impressed. Let me ask you another question. Can you generate? Oh, I better be careful here. No, actually, I better not. Can you generate images or videos? Okay, before I hit enter, I'll make sure, let me put this back to 50% because I don't want this guy to heat up. It goes really fast, as you guys see. So I'll go back here and hit send. That question should be pretty quickly answered. Should be basically it's a yes or no answer. You can see the temperature is going up slowly. Oh, it's done. Okay, so it says here. Of course, I'm happy to help you with that. I can't create images from scratch, but I can generate images based on text. I can generate images based on text descriptions or caption. This is known as text image. I can also really. Oh, okay. Generate. Here are some examples of images. Generate image of a cat. Text description. Image manipulation. Make it look. I can't generate images from scratch, or well, I don't know. It's repeating it, but video modify is used to make a person look like they're performing. Okay. Okay, I'm impressed. All right, so there we go. I'm super impressed. So this basically means AI. I'm all for AI now. So I will. I said I'll test out the other model, and as you can see, that's why I got this GPU for. It's supposed to run AI stuff very, very quickly. I don't want to run the AI stuff obviously on a CPU or the integrated graphics, the dedicated GPU. So that's another confirmation that I already deleted Alma client because it was slow. So this is the way to go. And I said I haven't even tweaked it for specific models, and you see how fast that is. It can even be faster if I tweak some of the settings like the temperature and everything. But I like where it is. I'm going to leave that as is. So the good thing is, if you guys want to get into the AI and you have, as I said, a low spec machine, or you don't have enough VRAM, or you can't afford for example, even in Canada here, even if I could afford it, it's very hard to get hold of the GPUs. They're usually sold out anyway, especially the ones with 16 gigs or more. So it's not even just about affordability. It's like they don't even exist. They're not available at this time. So this can also run on the CPU because that's what the Llama CPP. So I'm very, 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 very impressed with that. So I might actually go and get the Q8 model. Maybe we'll do that for the tutorial next time. So there's also a video version, an image generating version. I think it's called Stable Diffusion CPP as well. Basically, instead of using Python, they do the same thing like this one, where everything is just done in C++. So the good thing about that will be extremely fast, as you just saw. You don't have to wait around or load a bunch of stuff you don't need. So as I said, for my particular use cases, I'm very happy with this. I don't need any extra extensions or anything. I'm pretty happy with. Now, clearly, if I want to generate images, this particular, it needs some help to generate images. So that's why I'm going to grab that Stable Diffusion CPP version as well. There's about, last time I checked, there were about, when I was doing my research, there were about 3 different projects. So I think the most popular one is the Stable Diffusion .cpp. So that's one I'll use. Okay, so there we go, guys. I wasn't even aware that this model, Llama 2.7b, could literally summarize videos. So, for example, that video that it did summarize, this one here, you see it's an hour and almost an hour and 45 minutes, and was able to accurately summarize it. That just blows my mind away. just blows my mind away. Wow, that is really, 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 really impressive. Very, very impressive. Yeah, I'm very happy with that. And you see, just in a few, in less than a minute, I asked you a whole bunch of questions. They gave me the proper answer. I said, my web UI obviously has some few issues, as I said before, because things get cut off here. And I don't think it's really the web UI. I believe it's able to handle very long, as you can see here. I believe the problem is with the settings. So as you can see here, there's a setting where you tell it where it clips off the text. So what I mean is that if I tell it 300 words, it just clips off at 300. So maybe what I need to do is I need to find a way to tell it that, okay, if I ask you to summarize something and I tell you do it in 300 words, don't just clip off. Don't write like 600 words and just clip off at 300. You should summarize that that 600 word thing into 300 like I requested. So those are settings. We'll talk about that. I said in a few days when we do some more AI stuff. Okay, so that said, I am going to end this tutorial now. So basically a quick summary of today's tutorial. I showed you how from this article here, this article is going to stay up. It's obviously going to be up for a while. I showed you how you can pick models. What I recommend you guys pick, especially if you're using your commodity, your local PC. And so this stuff down here is more for videos, but the concepts are still the same. The concepts for picking models of systems. Always use GGUF, the quantized, and then also pick the highest Q value you can get. Obviously, stay away from. Obviously, this will be much faster. The FP32, FP16, those will, even the FP8, those will be way faster. But as I said, you might not be able to. Your system might be lacking somewhere, either it's RAM or GPU, especially if you're just using it. Like I said, I got that server GPU. It's way cheaper than any GPU I could afford here in Canada, and it was available. I bought it used from eBay and had no problems with it. What else is here? Yeah, so that's it. As you saw, I'm going to stick to Llama CPP, and I'm curious to try out the Stable Diffusion CPP as well. If it's like this, I'm going to be pretty happy. So I might have to make a video saying leaving Comfy UI for Stable Diffusion.cpp, similar to what I did when I left. What did I leave? SD Next for Comfy UI. So there we go. Now, that doesn't mean that the stuff I'm leaving is bad. I'm saying I started out there, I got to learn, and some viewers helped me as well. So there we go. Now, with that said, let's finish this up. So the same thing that applies to this article should apply to this video as well. So let's go down here. You guys saw let's say, what am I here? Okay, so if you're ready to dip in your Python skills, if this guide sparked your interest in the technical side of AI, you're in luck. Python is a core language used in tools like Comfy UI, PyTorch, and obviously if you want to make your own custom UI like I did, you can check out my books, including Learning Python, which is available on Amazon. The link is in the description. If you want to enroll in my online companion course called Learning Python, it's to accelerate your knowledge. It's available on ojamboshop.com. The link is also in the description. If you need personalized guidance, I'm available for one-on-one online Python tutorials. You can book a session at ojambo.com/contact. And if you want any expert setup, if you need assistance with the complex setup process, I'm offer professional service to install or migrate, for example, the 2.2 text to video 14B, or if you want any other just chat models as you see here, or any other AI models for you, you can contact me at ojamboservices.com/contact. Okay, with that said, a quick reminder, I do a live stream every day at 2 p.m. Eastern. You visit ojambo.com, you go to the watch menu, live menu, you can see the topics for this and upcoming tutorials. As you can see, this is always at 2 p.m. Eastern. This is what we're doing tomorrow. It's the GOGs locally using Git in Podman, and that's going to be probably the last Git tutorial for a while, unless you guys request something. And then also be sure to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments. It helps the channel grow. And as I said, when I learn something, I share, and obviously some of my viewers also shared their knowledge, and I was very grateful for that, because it led me to the path to when I'm able to run LLMs just as I envisioned. Okay, I do have 3 resources recommended. I'll start with the SpaceX Starlink. So I'm in a rural area, and there's no local internet or cellular service here. So what that means is that if I was able to get the local version, it would be sporadic, including the cellular service. So I got the SpaceX Starlink. I've had it now for just about 2.5 years. It's worked fantastic. So it gives me high-speed internet here, and I use it. For example, right now I'm doing live stream. I'm on YouTube, Rumble, Odyssey, and BitChute, and you guys are watching this video live. So there's no problem there. And you guys saw me download that model, and you saw how quickly it was as well. So yeah, pure high-speed internet. And I also use it for my phone. I use Wi-Fi calling, so I'm able to call and receive voice calls, text messages, and also multimedia messages as well, MMS, and no problems at all. And also I do have a referral link here. So if you do use my referral link and you get the service, I'll get 1 month free, and you'll get a discount. The discount and its duration depends on your geographical area, but you will get a discount. And also I have this little guy here. It's called the Honeywell HeatBud Personal Ceramic Heater. It's available on Amazon. That's my affiliate link. So I've had this one for I think a year and a month. So this little guy has helped me save on propane. So when I moved here, I was told that propane is a way to go for heating. What I found is that propane is ridiculously expensive, and it's a horrible way to rely on to heat house. So I only use propane for heating. So that means it only comes on when the weather drops. But it's really expensive. Like for example, the first time when I moved here, I was spending like $250 a month for heating, which is preposterous for just one person. So last year I got this little guy, and it took me a while to realize how to efficiently use it. So what I did was, from starting in midwinter in February, the coldest time, I was using this guy, and I was leaving the house temperature at 16 degrees Celsius. Obviously, when it was super cold and I felt more, I would obviously bump it up to sometimes up to 20. But this little guy helped me save. So I already saved $100 from there. And then this year, the last week has been really cold, but I didn't switch on the heater until today's the first. Yeah, today's when I switched on the heater for the first time. So obviously I saved heating all of October. I was just using this guy in this room, and what I plan to do is I plan to leave the temperature all winter at 16 degrees, and then in this room I'll use this little guy to heat up when I'm feeling. Obviously I'm going to also wear stuff like this, maybe even warmer, just to save. So I'm hoping to drop it down to about $100 or so, but because of the carbon tax, it'll probably be more like maybe $150, but still a big saving. So so my dream is, before I retire, is to rip out the propane and just go to electric or even solar, just to save on, heating is just preposterously expensive. Okay, so there's that, and finally I have my novelette. It's called The Algorithmic Serpent, It's a psychological thriller about a scientist who creates an AI system and loses his mind, and then he has to regain control of his mind and the AI system. See my name there, Edward Jumbo. I'm the author, and this is the back, as you can see. So there's also this is the paperback version, as you can see here, pages, and there's also an ebook version. If you have Kindle Unlimited, you can get it for free, the ebook version. So it's available on Amazon. You can pick it up. It's available right now. I made it as affordable as possible because I want to get feedback. So if you think it's good or bad, let me know. I said I want to improve my writing before the AI takes over. All the writing. So I do want to improve. I also have obviously programming books, but I do like writing. So I need feedback, right? Good or bad. So I can. If you guys want me to write about something specific, I can. So some people, like a farmer, requested I write about my experiences about living in a rural area. I thought about doing that. Obviously, I can do that, but I think I'm not sure what you guys would like. For example, I can talk about how I built the hoop coop myself. I can talk about how I did the shed by myself. All those things, and affordable, just using scraps around as well. So let me know if you guys are interested in that kind of stuff. I can talk about it and obviously write a book about it as well. And obviously when I'm into this AI stuff or running Linux, anything, just let me know. I can I'll be happy to not just for writing books, I'm saying also content. If you have anything, let me know. All right, with that said, subscribe. I already did that. Be sure, if you have not, be sure to subscribe. It really helps out the channel. Also, I'm going to check the live chat now. I'm going to start with Rumble. I see some people watching on Rumble. I don't see anybody. There's no chat messages yet, so that's perfectly fine. Let's go to BitChute. There's one person watching. They haven't written any text. They haven't no chat request. That's perfectly fine. I'll go to Odyssey. Odyssey had to make a change. So I don't know what's going on there. Okay, here we go now. Odyssey, it says you're not live right now. That doesn't make any sense. I clearly am live. That one doesn't, is it the wrong one I clicked on? What's the title? Oh, I don't know what the title is for this video. Oh yeah, it is. It's the right one. I did say this. You're not live right now. That's hilarious. And YouTube also, there's no chat request. So I'm gonna stop this, and I'll see you guys tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. Okay guys, have a great night. I hope you learned a lot today, and yeah, see you in tomorrow's tutorial. And if you're only interested in AI, don't worry, an AI is coming up pretty soon. We'll test a bunch of models. As you can see now, I can test models much faster. Okay, bye now.